How did we get here, Professor?
A valid question, Assistant Mimi. Oh?
Welcome to the Wanderer's Library. I'm the archivist. How may I help you?
The Wanderer's Library, you say?
Yes, the Wanderer's Library is a hub of all knowledge throughout every universe and dimension. It's an endless hall that carries every book that has or ever will be written, and several that won't. Scholars from worlds unknown stock its aisles and trash bins for forbidden knowledge. It would take several lifetimes to read the contents of even one shelf in this library.
Fascinating. A treasure trove of knowledge waiting for us.
It is as you say, Professor. Mister, may we look around the library?
You may. The desert can guide you through the library, showing you where to find books, but there are a few simple rules to the library that you must follow. Return the books on time, don't damage the books, don't steal the books, and don't damage the library property. And most of all, don't harm those within the library.
We understand, for we had a library of our own until we donated all the books to Japari Academy.
I see. Before I let you go wandering through the library, can I have your names? That way I can add you both to the database, just in case you want to take out any books.
Very well. My name is Northern White-Faced Owl. I'm commonly referred to as the Professor or Prof. Kohna by others.
And I'm Eurasian Eagle Owl. I'm referred to as Assistant Minnie by the Professor.
That should do it. Enjoy your stay.
Thank you.
It's astonishing, isn't it, Professor?
Yes, Assistant Mimi. And the idea that these books are from every universe and dimension interests me. But we still won't be able to read all of them.
That is true. I'll see what I can find on my own.
See if you can find anything on the Foundation. I want to learn more about them.
Understood, Professor.
The Journal of a Frama's Long Journey? Interesting. Spring Equinox, 7th year, 81st turn. Spring has come and it is time for all young conlets to begin their quests. That includes me, and tomorrow I will learn what my task shall be. I will no longer be a Framos Temiran. Tomorrow I will get my task name, the name by which I will be known for the rest of my life. I have been given this journal which will detail my quest and the steps I undertook to complete my quest. If I do well enough, it will be given to later Conlins to study before they undertake their quests. Will I be a crafter like my first father? A priest like my second father? Or perhaps a dowser like my mother? Iron Sword, Soulward, Deepwell? Their task names, their adult names, they are no longer identified simply by their clan, but by who they have become and by the quests they undertook to take those names. What will mine be? What task will the elders give me? Will I be able to live up to the task? I cannot help but think of my oldest brother who failed his task. He was stripped of his task name. He has no status in the clan. He can never hope to be more than a third husband, even if he can find a female who wants him. I fear that I may end up like him. More, with both of the oldest sons disgraced, my family may never recover face. Still, the elders are fair. They will not give me an impossible task. I am not afraid to work hard. Whatever task they give me, I will finish, or else I will die trying, and save my family the shame. Marde, first cycle, 7th year, 81st turn. Long Journey. My new name is Long Journey. The elders made their decision, and I am torn. There have only been 2 long journeys in the histories, one of whom became a hero. It is an honor to receive the name, and yet it feels like a banishment. I understand why the elders chose this quest for me. It's as clear as day. One son has already failed in his quest. If I fail as well, my family may never recover, and so I become a pilgrim. I am to go forth until they find something that the clan needs but does not have. If I find it, then I will earn my new name, and my family will be redeemed. And if I don't find it, if I don't come back, I will not be said to have failed. Either way, I cannot dishonor my family. The elders never said this, of course. They would not. They are too kind to do so. But I could see it in their eyes. They do not expect me to come back, and for my family, for my mother and my 3 fathers, I cannot. Not unless I complete my quest. It is hard what I must do, but it is necessary. At least I have until the solstice to prepare. While the other conlets learn the basics of their new crafts, I will prepare myself, arrange supplies, and... I am sorry, I spilled my ink on that last part. I am distracted. I will write more tomorrow.
I have returned, Professor. What are you reading?
It's a journal that chronicles the life of someone who has chosen to go on a quest based on the 2 journal entries I have read. Assistant Mini, have you found anything of interest?
I have. Follow me, Professor. These were the books that were given to me by a docent.
What is SCP? Oh, formation reports. So this is about the formation? Let's see.
Professor, stop. Notice anything about the picture of that animal?
Yes, the features show conclusive evidence that this animal is where Harley came from.
Harley told us that the formation didn't know what the animal she was, didn't she?
She did. Oh, I see. Mini, listen to this. SCP-682 appears to have a hatred of all life, which has been expressed in several interviews during containment.
Hatred of all life, huh? We should ask Dr. Bright more about this, right, Professor?
Right, but it's entirely possible that the reason why is due to this.
KIA?
From the footnotes, it means killed in action.
Ah, I see. Do you think they believe that if Harley remembers her past life that she would run amok, destroying humans and friends? That's why the humans use the Sandstar on Harley? To remove her hatred of all life?
A reasonable deduction, Mini. We would need to ask Dr. Bright about the name of the animal Harley comes from. SCP-682 is what listed under her name. All the other reports have SCP with their own numbers.
Interesting. We should read more of this book. Spooky.
Indeed, Mini. and yet this helps us learn more about formation.
But why keep it from us?
Probably not to panic the whole island and keep our minds on the Ceruleans, as they seem to have a handle on dealing with these SCPs.
Professor, why don't we help them with the SCPs?
A great idea, Meanie. Let's show our gratitude for them helping us.
Thank you, Professor. Why don't we look for more books to read before we return to Japari Park?
And he was all like, "Now see here, old chap, that is inappropriate behavior exhibited by this young lass. I came hither to inform the young juvenile that no transaction was going to transpire."
Hey girls, have you two seen Kohna and Minnie today?
"Hello, Bright Chan. And sorry, I haven't seen them."
Me either. What happened? Did something happen?
Well, nothing too serious, I hope. They haven't been seen all day.
Really? I hope they're okay.
They can take care of themselves. Nothing to worry about.
Yeah, you're right. What were you two talking about anyways?
Oh, I was telling Donkey the movie that the teacher showed us today.
Greetings, Dr. Bright, Greater Flamingo, and Donkey.
Hey girls, Dr. Bright over here was looking for you.
We figured. Dr. Bright, please forgive us as we lost track of time.
We read a lot of books in the Wanderer's Library.
The Wanderer's Library?
Can I talk to you two privately?
Sure.
Okay, I'm going to get straight to the point about this. How did you find the Wanderer's Library?
Even we are not sure how we ended up there.
That's right. You know about the library?
More or less. Never been there myself.
I see. There were interesting books that we managed to read.
They even had a book on these anomalies you call SCPs.
Whoa! You know about the SCPs?
Yes, Meanie suggested that we want to help the formation with these SCPs.
Wait, really?
We want to give back to the formation for aiding us in dealing with the Ceruleans and expending our knowledge.
I see. Well, I would have to get in touch with the higher-ups. Girls, you mustn't let anyone know about this, alright?
We know, and we understand why you kept them a secret from us. For that, we won't say anything to the rest of the residents of Japari Park.
We figured it was the best for everyone.
Next, I would like to discuss the matter of our recently built research site, Site 100. It concerns the recent transfer of a few SCPs. Some of you may have read that SCP-682's object class changed from Kita to neutralized. The head scientist from Site 100 deemed SCP-682 neutralized after testing a substance originating from the isolated archipelago, the location of Site 100.
Is it that archipelago where animal girls live on? I read some reports that some of our animal-like SCPs are being transferred there for easier containment. And how are they much easier to contain in that site? Isn't the containment on the anomalies on that island a bit lax?
The containment of the anomalies on Site 100 may seem lax, but the security on the island chain is secure. As for how SCPs are much easier to contain within it, the scientists used a substance originating from the archipelago to make their containment easier. Just in case some of you might not have seen it, I brought a sample with me. This substance is known as Sandstar. It transforms any animal into human beings while retaining some of their animal traits.
And how does turning them into human beings made it easier to contain these SPCs? Wouldn't they try to escape containment due to how there are no containment procedures?
This substance made them more docile. It also erased memories of sentient SCPs post-transformation. This effect made 682 forget his hatred of all life and made containment easier, and they are relocated to Site 100 after their transformation. Also, once transformed into SCP-4034-A, no containment procedures are necessary after their transfer to Site 100, as they become compliant to the Foundation. Dr. Bright sent in his proposal on using this on SCP-096.
Really? Are you sure it will work?
He stated in that proposal that he was sure that it will. We will come back to this to see if everyone is in favor of this proposal.
Right, I want to discuss the island itself, and that is the discovery of the buildings. There could be a chance that there are people out there with this sort of knowledge, not to mention that it used to be a zoo before the entirety of the island fell into ruin.
The buildings are old and abandoned. The organization that built them had disbanded. Granted, the Foundation itself didn't exist back then, when they made the safari park. The facilities and some vehicles found in the islands remain functional, including the robots that maintain the park when humans are absent. General knowledge of the safari park has disappeared from the world as time went on.
Ah yes, the newest addition to the Foundation's workforce. To be honest, they don't look intimidating and more resembled a mascot for a toy company.
Our robots may be a copy of the original, but they're different from the original. We focus on utility rather than the appearance of our robots.
It seems logical, as their appearance doesn't matter as long as they serve their utility. Another thing we should discuss is the recent rise of transfer requests from some SCPs and other sites.
What do the requests specify?
To provide some context, after we gave the MTF a 4-month vacation, SCP-105 decided to go to Site 100 after receiving permission from the Site 17 manager. And after experiencing how the Site 100 felt compared to other sites, she sent a request to be transferred there. The Site 17 manager granted the request as he reasoned that it would improve her mental health as she couldn't talk or socialize with many of the personnel within Site 17. Soon, the news of 105's transfer spread throughout the other sites, catching the attention of SCPs such as SCP-85, SCP-657, and so forth.
This would be problematic if any sentient Keter-class SCPs could use the chance to breach containment while being transported to Site 100.
If any of the more dangerous SCPs requested a transfer to Site 100, deny their request, or transform them into an SCP-4034-A entity before being transferred. If the substance didn't work, keep them in the site where they are in containment. And if it worked, transfer them to Site 100. And I believe the reason why there are so many requests is how different the atmosphere of Site 100 is compared to the other sites. Site 100 has a friendly and welcoming atmosphere. It stems from the facade the Foundation has set up on the island's inhabitants. Treating them as normal people may be the reason why 105 and other SCPs wanted to transfer there.
A logical and truthful point, as the scientists from that site are friends and neighbors to them. And we got a place where Bright could work in instead of being transferred from one site to another, causing damage everywhere he goes.
Speaking of Dr. Bright, he recently dropped another proposal for 2 of the SCP-4034-A entities into joining the formation to help in researching SCPs. He stated that they were interested in helping the Foundation searching other things.
The real question is, can they be trusted in keeping it a secret from the rest of the residents?
From what I heard, every SCP-4034-A entity trusts Dr. Bright, and the formation has a new SCPs working in the various sites, Dr. Bright being one of them.
We'll get back to this later.
Now, would the GOIs like the Chaos Insurgency and the Church of the Broken God try to raid the site itself?
I believe they won't dare try, as the previous raid conducted by the Serpent's Hand failed. Any information regarding the archipelago has been heavily encrypted and securely stored. Finding the island will also be a challenge, as we hacked radar satellites to ensure the isle won't appear on maps. It suffices to say the archipelago is invisible to everyone apart from the Foundation itself. On to our last topic. We recently hired one SCP-4034-A entity, identified as Pet Shop. She possesses the ability to control and create ice, otherwise known as cryokinesis.
Wait, Pet Shop? You mean Pet Shop the Falcon from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure?
Exactly. She became a field agent after being born through substance testing. She willingly joined the organization as she served a previous master before.
Would this pose a problem for us? She is a killer, and could try to betray us.
No, she won't, as she never questions any of our commands. Think more of her as a hired assassin, killing important individuals and getting classified information, incognito.
Will more SCP-4034-A be recruited in the future?
Possibly, but we still need to determine which would serve the Foundation loyally without asking any questions. There are hundreds of SCP-4034-A to sort through, and choosing one would be difficult. The discussion concerning the topic of SCP-4034-A agents will continue in the future. Now, before we conclude our meeting for today, how many of you are in favor of both proposals? Everyone is in favor? Very well. Now, everyone is dismissed.